What is going on, guys? Bingo here with the Duel Factory, and we are here for this week's episode of X-2 Drop. This episode this episode is filmed right after the YCS Atlanta, which is the 3v3 YCS, so that's probably going to be the primary focus of what we talk about today with the results, and maybe we'll touch on the looming ban list, but we'll see how much time we got.
Oh, man.
So, YCS Atlanta was pretty cool. It was, like I said, 3v3 event where 2 out of your 3 teammates had to win their match to progress to the next round. And the decks that ended up winning was 2 Striker and 1 Salamangreat on the team, and they beat out for second place. The whole team was playing Thunder Dragon, the same list, Sekka's Light build.
Fun fact, we also learned the correct pronunciation of Mermer.
What did they call it?
It is Mari.
Yeah. So with the winning teams list, there's 2 Striker, 1 Salamangreat. So Salamangreat was freaking 25% of entry, if I'm not mistaken.
It was either 25 or a little bit more than that, but it was very heavily represented.
Yeah, and there was around 1,600 players enter this tournament.
It was over 500 teams. They needed another like 60 or something like that to have top 32, but it was a high attendance.
Yeah, I think it was close to 1,600. So that's a lot of Salamangreat players. It's about 400 people playing on entry. So
the striker field was almost just as big too. That's the scary part.
Well, Salamangreat's going to be our first deck we talk about because it is the newest, and like the decks become so linear. Like, it hasn't really changed much in the past few, like, 2 weeks. Like, there's some experimentation with normal summon, but besides that, there's not much to talk about. I mean, you got what? Trap Trick?
So, from what I saw from, like, most of the Salamangreat players, is a lot of them are still, like, 50-50 on what the best normal summon is, either being Buffalo or Lady Debug, which the general consensus of what I've seen is if you're playing Trap Trick and Artifact Sanctum and like multiple Rage, then they're playing Buffalo because it's easier to see those cards. And the idea is if you Sanctum them, then they're just dead the next turn because of Fusion of Fire. If you're playing what most of the field was, which is more like combo based, or I shouldn't say combo based, but I'd like to say more consistent opening combo would make more sense. Then the general consensus is you play Lady Debug. Now, I personally, if I was going to take it to an event, I would play the Lady Debug build over the Trap Trick build, because you get to play it every game. The only problem with that is your Debug is more susceptible to hand traps like Ghost Ogre, but I mean,
yeah,
that's few and far between.
I had somebody like arguing with me about Debug loses to if your debug stopped, like your combo's over. But I mean, you could say that about so many other powerful normal summons in the game's history. Like, yeah, it's susceptible to Veiler, Impermanence, Ghost Ogre, but it's still worth playing. Just you're not gonna like sacrifice the power of your deck just because it loses to a Veiler.
I think the argument that you can make for Debug over Buffalo or Buffalo is Debug is an actual standalone card where Buffalo is not.
Yeah,
that's like the biggest. That's the biggest argument you can make.
And Buffalo, like, it's going to, like, you're almost always going to have a another Cyberse in hand. But I don't feel the Destiny draw effect is like worth sacrificing the search from Debug.
For Buffalo to be good, your hand already has to be good. That's the problem.
So let's say your Debug gets hit by a Veiler, like, and you have Gazelle in hand, or like if you have, like, is there anything else you can do to like actually not just end your turn right there?
Well, say the Debug gets hit by Veiler, gets hit by Ash, right? The following play is if you have Gazelle in hand, in both cases, if you have Gazelle in hand, what you can end up doing is you can use your Debug and turn it into Banelinks. The Banelinks will go get your field spell, and then use the field spell to make Banelinks into another Banelinks to trigger your Gazelle, and you get a combo off regularly.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But
which you can do the same thing with Buffalo, and that's like the one case where you can make the argument Buffalo is better than Lady Debug, but you already had Gazelle in that case.
Yeah, I mean, you're playing 6 Gazelle because they're 3 circles, so I just don't think it's worth taking that card out just because
No.
it might get hit by a hand trap.
Taking out guaranteed way to Gazelle is not the way. I personally don't think that's the way to go, because like you're guaranteeing yourself the best card in your deck versus you might have a chance to get it. It's the Family Guy argument, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, like Manju and Senju were basically what debug is. You know, it's search basically any card you want in your deck. And those lost to Valor, and they were still played.
Like I said, it's an argument that's going to go on forever, but honestly, debug's always going to be the better choice in my mind.
People just need to stop being scared and like actually play the game.
Searching is always going to be better than drawing.
Yeah, unless you're drawing 4, putting 3 back.
We're not going to talk about that just yet.
But the trap trick build of Salamangreat wasn't as common, and that's for a good reason because it can't go second.
Trap trick does nothing going second.
Yeah, it's trap trick, 3 Sanctum, 1 Scythe was basically the only changes. Maybe a second Roar, right? Or a Rage.
Yeah. If it was 2014, card would be broken. But
yeah, it's just like you're already gonna win if you combo off and you have your Ash in hand. Just why would you sacrifice having dead cards going second? Because you're only gonna go first half the time, right? Maybe a little higher.
I mean, when you're going first with Sanctum and you break, but you have Sanctum, it just guarantees you live a turn. That's like the only like big argument, because like Cameron Neal said it's best when you scythe them and they don't have an answer, they just die the next turn.
Yeah, and people say like Sanctum loses to Ash. I'm like, yes, but there's a 90% chance that you baited Ash on your turn and they used it.
Which means that Sanctum's resolving anyway. And if they
open double Ash, then they probably don't have the cards required to like.
That means they're playing with a 4-card hand going second.
Yeah, so
out there.
I'm not a fan of the trap trick artifact build of Salamangreat, but I don't have much experience with the deck, so
there's a lot that can be said about it.
I'm surprised some crazy dude hasn't put a moral tack in there and pretended like it was 2014.
Oh, trust me, if it has been thought of, it has been done, and I'm sure someone's been trying it, but none of them have been topping, so there's that.
Alright, so the interesting thing you wanted to talk about was the enemy controller in the Salamangreat list. I think this was a feature match, right?
Yeah, I saw a couple players doing it. I think it was either the round 7 or round 8 one. I can't. No, it would have been round 6 or 7. There would have been round 8.
I started watching round 7, so I don't think it was there. But
I watched the Salamangreat player Econ, one of the Salamangreat players in the mirror match, and it's actually really cool because if they let the Econ ride, it turns off the counter trap card. It turns off the non-targeting effect of Rage.
Yeah,
and then so they have to like burn their cards there or lose them. And then if it resolves, then you can use your own Sanctuary and turn their Sunlight Wolf into your own Sunlight Wolf, so on and so forth, and you could just get a combo for free while navigating through all their back row.
Yeah, and if they do, like, let's say they normal summon debug, right?
Yep.
You take it, their turn's over, isn't it?
Yeah, because they don't even they don't have a monster their turn in the Banelinks after that. They have to have like the Salamangreat or something like that in hand to be able to put their Gazelle on board.
So that's something that was popping up a few weeks ago. I know a lot of Striker players messed around with it in the past, but that card could be extremely powerful this format.
The card is root. I think that card's a lot better than what people are giving it credit for. We saw a little bit of it at this YCS, but I think the next big event you're going to see a lot of it, especially if the next Forbidden Limited list makes any like major changes or anything like that, and Salamangreat just becomes infinitely more prevalent. I think you're going to start seeing more enemy controller and more mind control.
Yeah, enemy controller in Striker too, I think is going to be messed with a lot, especially with Phantasme being able to dig for your cards and have just be the body to tribute, like if you need it to be.
It's a form of interaction that can be activated while you have a monster in the main zone. That's a cool thing to think about.
So I'm going to be messing with that card, but I don't have max rarity, so maybe not.
See, we got to fix that. If it's not max rarity, don't run right. We've been over this.
Yeah, I know. But Sky Striker, this is a deck that I've wanted to play, but there's just been like no innovation. But this new format seems a lot more back and forth, so I might go back to it. But
that deck's representation went up because Solomon Great came out, and it's wild.
Yeah, I don't want to say it's reliant on the dice roll because that's probably the least one of the matchups where the dice roll matters the least, but it does help winning.
Oh yeah, it 100% helps your win rate and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but it's just like,
oh my god, the strike, like it also helps if you open just absolutely busted every single time.
Yeah, can we talk about that for a little bit? Because every striker player I saw on stream opened the dream every single game.
Yeah,
I'm talking
resolving 2 engages for draws turn 1, like
terraforming Foolish Burial of Goods, fucking engage,
Area 0 Ray, like
yeah, every game, every single game. Watching engage gives you like 12 to 1,000 bonus cards. It was stupid.
Yeah, like set 5 back row, 5 in hand plus a link monster.
What do you think?
Oh my
Go
god!
ahead.
I was gonna say every time I play striker, I'm ending on like multi-roll set 1 Shizuku pass.
Yeah, it's nothing like what we were watching. It was actually stupid. Like these people, it's like God came down and decided to hold all the Sky Striker hands this weekend and be like, look, this is how we're going to play. Don't worry about it. I got your back. And he had it the entire time.
He's like, I don't want those salad boys winning the event.
Or as Aldo used to tell me whenever we only had Super Minervas, this is the closest thing to holding hands with God I've ever felt. Although I could tell you my most disappointing thought of this whole YCS is the team that was named Murphy's Law did not top. Once again, proving that Murphy was fucking correct.
So, one thing that you brought to my attention is Jamming Waves, which obviously went back into the main deck with the release of Salamangreat. It's just a really good card in this current meta, but you said people were playing it at 2 even.
I saw a couple of people playing in it too, yeah. Because a lot of times, like you said, the dice roll's 50-50. You're not always going to win, and especially going against Salamangreat going second. When you just clear or force them to use their roar prematurely or force their rage out of the way or anything like that, it just makes your turn so much easier. Plus, one of the cool things is Jamming Waves is non-targeting removal. So if they let it ride when you have 3 spell cards in the graveyard, they just lose their link monster and turns their trap cards off anyway.
Yeah, so it forces it. And like if they didn't set roar and they have rage, then it's just free at that point.
Exactly.
Because the effect of rage when you don't have a link monster, reincarnated link monster, it's so not worth using.
Yeah, it's right. Geki Break.
Yeah. Neg 1.
Yeah, neg 1 to take care of 1 card.
And then
you go from Fire Lake of the Burning Abyss to just bad.
It's just not good. But Sky Striker, one card that I saw was pretty impactful was Called by the Grave.
I did see a lot of Called by the Grave. I mean, it's one of those things, like especially like when you're playing against a striker player, when you can cut them off from Ray, you're in a winning position. Now, granted, some of them will top deck, engage, and get right back into the game, but most of the time, that's not going to happen.
Or Hornet Drones when you're down to 0 cards and you resolve 2 engages.
Yeah, there's always that. Go from 0 cards to 5 bonus cards.
But yeah, Called by the Grave, the one match where he hit, I think he hit Roar after he link summoned, and it's just like, it was so unexpected.
Yeah, I mean, that Salamangreat player had everything. Was it? Yeah, that was a Salamangreat player.
Yeah, it was Salamangreat versus Danger Thunder.
That guy had everything, though. He had Combo, Roar, Rage, and Called by the
Grave. He had Ogre for the Summon Sork, Called by the Grave for the Saryuja, or for the Roar. He just had everything.
Yeah, it was his day to win. It was his day to win.
So we've been talking about Danger Thunder a lot, and that's because it's probably I'd say it's the scariest deck of the format. Like Striker and Salamangreat, you know what they do. They do the same thing almost every time. But Danger Thunder, if they go uninterrupted, like you're just, how do I play through this? How do I win?
It's just like your older formats where you had like Pepe and Monarch, Necros, Shadow. What's another good one? Like power versus consistency. It's just like you said, Salamangreat, Striker. They're gonna do the same thing every game. They're gonna be able to play every single game, no matter what. And then there's Danger Thunder, which the build is always changing. Like this weekend, we saw them going from making like Zombie Stein and all that stuff. Now they're making Dark Matter and just
Like
blocking you out of the extra altogether.
Goliath.
The monsters they produce are so much bigger and scarier than what any other deck can deal with, and that's why that deck remains relevant. Can we also point, this is the 5th YCS in a row that's finished second.
Yeah, it just can't take one. It's so close. So close.
It's sad too, because who probably the best player arguably over the past 2 years is piloting the deck, still couldn't get it done.
Who, Jesse?
Jesse Cotton.
His opponent just was, God was over his shoulder, man. Like, terraforming, multi-roll, engage, and hand trap.
Every time.
Like, that was the nuts.
He almost played out of it.
He did.
But his opponent had Eagle Booster, and that wasn't happening.
So they switched from Zombie Stein, what was it, double triple Colossus Zombie Stein after ripping 2 cards out of the hand, to double Colossus Goliath. And I think
double Colossus Goliath and like
I think they
whatever.
still rip a card out of your hand.
I'm sure some of them were still playing Diablo, some of them weren't. I saw a lot of the pro players that were playing the prize card Chaos Emperor, Dragon of Armageddon.
I saw every time they drew it, they like put it back in their deck with like Saryuja. Like it never, they never used it.
The only person I actually saw like really use it was like Hani Jahari, and he used it to use Eclipse Wyvern twice in one turn, so that was pretty.
Yeah, that was nuts.
I think in general, all it is a free level 8 body to put on the board, so they can make Dark Matter more consistently. But the dragon they were summoning off Argapane, it all varied, but I think now people are going back more to Hot Red Dragon, Archfiend, Abyss, because they don't really have the 2 lines of negation. You kind of don't want to lose the cards like evenly matched.
Yeah, the extra deck's super tight, and we saw that it wasn't relevant for the match outcome, but the if that dude made Crystal Wing, he would have won that turn.
No, you're talking about Hope Harbinger, was what we were talking about.
It was the round before that. He made a Hot Red.
He made Hot Red, and his opponent had Ray.
Yeah, but it didn't change out. Like he was so far ahead, it didn't matter.
Oh yeah, way far ahead. Like it was too much.
But yeah, Hope Harbinger would have been the nail in the coffin, because it doesn't matter what he top decked. Like even if he top decked Ray, redirect with Hayate, and he would get ahead on life, and it wouldn't matter at that point because they were so close to time.
Mm-hmm.
Or negate any spell that he top decks.
Easy peasy.
But breakout card from the second place list was Defrag Dragon. I got mixed feelings about this, but I don't play the deck, so go ahead.
It's just kind of cool. Like, it's just a free level 3 dragon. You can summon it by basically discarding any Thunder card in your hand, because they're not doing anything in your hand other than Hawk, you know? And, like, I don't see a reason not to play it. It's level 3, so you can make any guard dragon with it. It's dark, so it's food for your duo. It's food for your Levianeer. It's food for your White Dragon Wyver Burster. And, like, it has a cool effect, because, like, the longer the game goes on, summon it for 3 by just banishing 3 monsters with the same name in your graveyard, and that's not uncommon. Like, it's just... There's nothing bad I can say about the card, honestly.
I mean, you play, 5 to 6 normal summons in the deck. Maybe you discard one of those because it's dead.
Yeah, I mean, like, the only normal summons you really have are Phantom Skyblaster, which that card's insane.
I know they were playing Solar.
And, yeah, Solar, White Dragon, Wyver Burster is a full combo.
Yeah, the baby Chaos Dragons are getting to the point where they're actually just nuts, but it's strictly because of Thunder Dragon. just getting those bonus effects, those bonus cards, if you will.
Jokingly bonus cards. But no, they're like the ideal link fodder, and then like guard dragons just made them really broken.
Yeah, anytime they release a one card link, like a generic link 1, they've really got to think about what they're doing.
Just wait, they're gonna make those cards searchable. It's over. Over.
Right. And then we already talked about Goliath, how that's the go-to summon instead of red mid.
Yeah, you just summon it, the game's over.
Yeah.
Like, they can't do anything.
You got to deal with double Colossus plus Goliath. Like I don't know how you're gonna do that.
You can't search, can't summon from the extra deck. Have fun with your hand.
Yeah, it really at that point doesn't matter what it is because you can't Hayate Kagari search anything.
Nope.
Can't search anything unless you open triple anchor plus engage. Like I don't think you're going anywhere.
Multiple anchors, multiple impermanences, it's whatever. Because like even if you manage to turn off the Goliath and get back into your extra deck, you still have to deal with the Colossus.
Yeah, no, it needs to be specifically like 3 anchors so that you get draws off engage, but that's never going to happen.
You're living La Vida Loca at that point.
Well, just ask the first place Sky Striker player because he'll do it.
Yeah, that's all I'm sure he would.
All right, Danger Orchest was like nowhere.
Yeah, I didn't see any Orcus lists or anything like that running around. I guess people decided for Team YCS and stuff like that, they wanted more consistency in decks that were actually like more proven.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, the Orcus decks, they're still like people are still experimenting with them and still figuring that stuff out.
Yeah, the no 2 lists look the same in the sense that like we can't agree on the exact Orcus line to play, the exact extenders because it's a technical deck where you have to play around so much that your average player is not going to do well with it.
I think one of the big things is why the representation on the deck itself was so low in numbers is I think people are more prepared for it, and Lancia was everywhere.
Yeah, Lancia, I mean, that's a good segue into the hand trap discussion I wanted to do. Lancia was in just about every side deck, I think.
Crow, too. Crow is another big one.
Yep.
That's why I think the representation of the deck was so low.
It's like Sky Striker side of Lancia, and they just get bonus cards from that too because they could just set everything they used off multi-roll again.
And it doesn't leave.
Yep. So set double anchor, standby Lancia, use them during the turn, and you get just
bonus cards.
And DD Crow, like that's what DD Crow is not an uncommon card, and people are still only playing 2 rage, or only playing 1 rage, which again I don't play the deck, but that just seems odd to me.
It's scary. It's like one of those cards. You play multiple if you play Trap Trick, but like it's a definite one of. But like when you have cards like DD Crow and stuff like that running around, it makes deck building really really scary.
Yeah, because going into game 2, you lost game 1, you know you're going first, so you send your roar because your hand, like you got a hand trap or 2, so you just want to negate as much as you can, and then they DD Crow your trap. Like, what are you gonna do?
Cry.
Yeah, so
violently.
It's one of those things that I'm not sure I agree with, but I have no testing with the deck, so I'm just going off head theory.
There's so much I can go into it, honestly, in terms of it, but...
And then, I don't want to say, probably the breakout hand trap of the weekend was Ghost Ogre. That card was non-existent up to, like, this event. Like, I haven't seen it in a deck list, and I don't know how long.
Yeah, I know a lot of people were cutting it, and then this weekend, like, you just started seeing it left and right. And, like, it was disgusting some of the times you drop it, because I was watching people drop it on, like, Saryujas. I was watching them drop it on Elpies. We saw Summon Sword just die.
Yep, hitting Summon Sork. Remember why I was playing Gamma to hit Saryuja? It's like, hitting Saryuja is just, they don't get that special summon. They probably won't get in their Guard Dragon stuff. Summon Sork is basically negate Summon Sork.
Yeah.
Like the card's pretty crazy. And even against Striker, the striker mirrors, they were keeping it in to hit the multi-roll.
Yeah, I mean, if you watch a player to commit, because you saw a lot of it, so I feel like a lot of the players forgot about the Sky Striker mirror in general. Because you watch a lot of players, especially on stream, you just watch a couple of them just walk right into an ogre play on their multi-roll, and the game was over.
I think it was out of the format for so long, people just stopped respecting it, and you just saw them consistently getting punished on stream.
Yeah, better respect it now. The card is real.
Yeah,
there's a reason the ultis and stuff are going up in price.
Yeah, what is it? $80 now?
Yeah, I think they're almost close to 100 now.
Oh god. And Phantasme is Phantasme. This card is just proven its value. I think it's worth the price tag, honestly.
I can't tell you how many times I watched Phantasme hit the field, negate something, get brought off the field, and it just didn't matter. I think one of the things a lot of people forgot, and I saw this happen once on stream, is Phantasme is searchable through Eclipse Wyvern. So, like, post games 2 and 3 for the Thunder Guard Dragon decks, when they're doing their combo and they already have the card they need, they just straight banish one off Eclipse Wyvern and then add it back to their hand after they're still comboing, and then their opponent knows they have to play through Phantasme. It was gross.
Yeah, just drawing 3, like, if you can catch them with two link monsters on the field, get those hand traps, whatever, get rid of those multiples. The card's just insane. It's probably the reason we'll never get Max C back.
I don't know. I want it.
Three Phantasme, 3 Max C.
I want it.
Oh.
Draw everything.
Dude, Max C goes to 1, the fucking card's going to be like $250.
Oh, easy. For no reason. No reason whatsoever.
No.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Secondary market sucks.
I can't stand it. That's one of the only reasons I don't want to play this game.
Yeah, because the secondary market.
It's horrible. Like, I want the cards to be stable investments, but there's no such thing.
No, because people sit around at their house, get bored, next thing you know, oh, I guess I'll buy something out to spice things up a bit, and then they'll just buy out the most random thing.
This card's $50. It's not relevant for the past 6 months. I'm gonna buy it out, and then it fucking stays at $80.
Yeah, for no reason. Still not played.
My least favorite part about the market is card announcements.
Oh, card announcements are fucking horrible every time.
I had Alti-Teratops in my cart, and then that fucking new Speedroid Synchro gets announced. So I'm like, well, I can't buy these for about a month because they doubled in price. Like, it's a good card, but like, no one's gonna play Speedroids.
What was the Speedroid card that got announced? I can't remember that one.
It was like, I think it was a level 8 Synchro, which is really awkward for the deck.
Oh, but it was like a tugboat looking thing. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Like, it's a good card, but like, really, you're gonna double the price of my fucking Teratops because of that?
Talking about Speedroids, I'll never forget that. This is actually a fun little story we can tell. I'll never forget we were at Locals one week, and I let everyone else borrow my shit to get ready for regional and stuff like that because we had one coming up, and I was the only one who had my invite at the time, and they didn't, so I was letting them play my cards. All I had laying around was a Speedroid deck, so I'm playing Speedroids while they're all playing like Pendulum and BA and stuff like that. My side deck, though, work of art. I had triple Vector Pendulum, triple Wavering Eyes, triple Magical Springs, and triple Twin Twister at the time, and I just was not losing to Pendulum. 4-0'd that local, played 4 Pendulum players. Dude. Felt like a fucking champion.
Magical Spring, Pendulum Magician format. Like, I just remember my buddy played like 60 card. Like, I don't know what the hell he was playing, right? Like 60 card mess, and he would just mill snow every time, and then Magical Springs, because he was playing like some Pendulum variant, but he would Magical Springs, and then banish it for snow, and it's just free.
It was a beautiful time to play Yu-Gi-Oh.
And then one card that came back into favor this weekend was Pankratops.
There was an actual team named after Pankratops, but it was Pankatops.
Yeah, no, this card kind of fell out of favor, probably because Thunder, and it just wasn't doing enough. I couldn't pinpoint a reason. Every time I went to play it, I'm like, this card it's not what I need.
I don't know. This weekend, that card was wild.
Yeah, I know the Azathoth combo. I saw it stop that once.
Is popping his head out of nowhere, just fucking taking cards away for no reason. But I mean, that's what happens when people start thinking cards turn out bad. Boom, they just come out of nowhere because people stop respecting them, and it just makes the card better.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's just the card doesn't become bad. I think it's just people respect it, and then they play around it, and then it falls out of favor for another card that does something slightly different, but is more impactful because it's not hit by the same things.
Exactly.
And then Impermanence, this card was kind of... Yeah, you didn't see it. You didn't see it this weekend.
Is this like that argument we were making the other day when we were talking about... It's because Phantasma is just a better card. And Phantasma interferes with Impermanence, so there's not... I mean, like, it's still, like, a really, really good card. It outs your Floodgate monsters and stuff like that, but, like...
Yeah, you almost always want a Phantasma over Impermanence. I can't think of a situation where you don't. Like, I guess Impermanence or Kagari, and then when they make Shizuku, Phantasma, but, like, just play Valor.
You'd almost rather just have the Thanos Dragon out there, period. Because, like, it's going to do its job.
Yeah, like, that card didn't even need to have targeting protection on it, but it does.
Yeah, just randomly.
Like, generic targeting protection, generic draw support. Like, the card's nuts.
Not only am I going to fix your hand, but I'm going to do you one better. You can discard one of those cards you don't need. Your card's going to be safe the rest of the game, my man. Real? For real.
Yeah, going into a striker board, it feels pretty good having that.
Easy peasy.
Especially from somebody that plays Necros.
I hate you so much.
Why?
Because all I ever do is test against fucking Necros.
I'll be playing striker, don't worry.
I'll never know how to play against anything but blue deck for the rest of my life.
Alright, speaking of that, let's jump over to a little bit of ban list discussion since we're only at like 30 minutes right now.
Oh, wonderful.
So I'm super excited for this ban list. Like, I don't expect it to completely change up the metagame, but to put some checks and balances in there would be pretty nice. Maybe get some new tools.
So,
go ahead.
For your checks and balances, right? So, the deck's been out over a year now. You have to do something to Striker, obviously. It's just one of those decks that's been around, and now its popularity is even higher because Solomon Great's out. So...
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Striker deserves a hit. It deserved a hit 2 lists ago.
You just don't know. I don't know what you would hit.
Confirmed reprints for Engage and most likely Widow Anchor after Nats. Like, I don't know what to do.
I don't think the deck's going to survive 2 Nats, honestly, but at the same time, like, it very well could. I mean, we had, like, Zoo forever.
Yeah, they're probably, like, what I was thinking is they'll do the same thing they did with Zoo, right? Put it in what is it in this year? Battles of Legend, right? And put it in Battles of Legend and then ban it, like, kill the deck on the next list. But that's after Nats. That's fucking 15 months after the deck comes out.
Yeah, that's a while.
Yeah, that's a long time for the only hit to be Hornet Drones to 1. The deck needs something. Multi-roll, Anchor, Kagari, it needs to be checked.
I think you put Kagari to 1 and that's all you have to do, honestly. Maybe Widow Anchor to 2, because Widow Anchor is honestly an insane card. That is the bane of my existence, especially like when you play combo decks. It's just stupid.
Yeah, with 2 Anchor, you got to be very careful about your multi-roll sets, and like if they do combination of Widow Anchor and Kagari to 2, like only the people that can manage their resources effectively and actually play the game can play the deck, because a bad player, they're just going to fucking click, yes, I want to do this on YGO Pro, and then they're going to lose the game.
YGO Pro players can't play Sky Striker anymore. Sounds like a great world to me.
Yeah. So Striker is going to get hit in some way. I think Anchor is going to go to 2 and possibly Engage. Joe, I think Kagari to 1, and you said something about multi-roll earlier.
Yeah, I think if you do something to multi-roll, that hurts the consistency of the deck.
Well,
Especially since you're not just getting random, oh, I'm a multi-set 4 pass.
Yeah, I mean, multi-roll is the reason the deck is just over the top broken. Like the whole deck is really good, but Spellbook of Judgment's a good card, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, if that goes to 1, it forces them to search it rather than hard opening it.
Yeah, you don't see multi-roll pop Area 0 a lot anymore, and that's a problem.
Yeah,
because that's just you just have so many ways in array at that point.
Yeah, opening multi-roll plus Area 0 or just... I always forget, multi-roll... no one talks about your spells being spell speed 4 because of multi-roll. That is just stupid.
Yeah.
No shit. Oh, you got 2 negates on your board, double multi-roll, double anchor. What are you going to do?
Cry. That's what I'm going to do.
So, Striker, we're done with that discussion. Some cards that I think straight need to get just banned are Summon Sorceress and Dark Matter.
Summon Source 100% needs to go. That it lets you do way too much.
Yeah, a card, it's too free.
It'll slow down Orcus before they get their actual cards, and that's a scary thought.
Any broken combo deck has played Summon Sorc.
If we ever get Needle Fiber, that prevents a lot of fucking Needle Fiber stuff from happening.
Those 2 cards can't exist in the same format. Not in the TCG. I'm not putting up with it.
You can't taking away Summon Sorceress also takes away the ability to tutor out stupid cards that shouldn't be relevant. Remember when we first got Summon Sorc and then you saw random zombie decks coming out, fucking extra linking out of nowhere? That was stupid.
Vendred?
Yeah, that was stupid. Oh, I'm gonna resolve Goblin Zombie 6 times in a row now.
Yeah, but at that time, I think we had Nightmare Goblin.
Yeah, that was just... That card's unfair. That card can stay gone.
Yeah, that card... I love that card because of the generic normal summon for Invoked is pretty good, but, Invoked is not the deck that is worried about that card.
No, that ship has sailed.
A U-board with Phoenix, Cerberus, Goblin, and Mermaid, I don't want to deal with that.
Not again. It would have been fine if they were target. They're not even target.
Yeah, they're untargetable. And you probably got a Tri-Gate out there because why not? All right.
Good U-boards do.
And then Dark Matter because of Guard Dragons.
Oh, Guard Dragons came out, Dark Matter became insane.
Yeah.
It's combo on its own, just 2 level 8s. I mean, let's see. So, from what I've seen, Dark Matter is taking 3 cards from your opponent's deck. It sends as a cost, so you can't Ash it, you can't Veiler it. Because, you're just negging 1 at that point. So, and then on top of that, like I said, you're sending Domain of the Monarchs, you get to send Destrudo, you can send Eclipse Wyvern for more combos. You can send Diabolos. I mean, the possibilities are endless.
Amorphage, Arc Brave. And then, people aren't talking about it, but the Blue Eyes deck that topped with the actual Guard Dragon cards, where they make double Dark Matter. And
the whole reason that deck is playable, the whole reason is because that 1 card.
Yeah, Dark Matter needs to go. And the biggest reason I want to go on the side is because this card can't exist and E-Dragons come back.
That'd be insane. That'd be wild. And I want it to happen because Dragon Rose is by far my favorite Tier 0 format ever. But with what we have now, it just can't happen, especially with Dark Matter would be insane.
Yeah.
It go to $100 gold rare.
Send 3 E-Dragons.
I'm just thinking of the fucking combos now, dude. Summon it, send 1 dragon, send Eclipse Wyvern, send Destrudo. Just summon a dragon for free. Get your card to go off. Banish the Dark Matter, summon Red Med, use Red Med, bring back the material, make another Dark Matter, send 3 more dragons. Now you do your Guard Dragon combos. Then somehow, I don't know exactly the line of play that would end to get there, but I guarantee you somehow they would be ending with Saryuja up top, Omega gone, taking a card out of your hand. They're probably looping stuff with Levineer, and then you're ending on multiple Red Ice Flare Metal Dragons.
Yep.
So you have like 28 beater, 28 beater, 28 beater, 4K. You've lost
Yeah.
2 cards, and you're probably sitting there trying to find the will to live, but you can't. Like,
They can't be destroyed by battle. You're taking 1,500 every time you activate a card effect, or they can't be destroyed by card effect, and you're taking 1,500 for doing anything.
And then you got like support cards like Return of the Dragon Lords and stuff like that. Oh, gee, I can only imagine how stupid that would be.
Yep, I don't want to think about it. So Dark Matter needs to go, and then Saryuja. I don't want to see it banned. I really don't.
I think you put it to 1, it'll be fine.
Yeah, I think that fixes it, because just 2 Saryuja in a turn is pretty dumb, but it's a good generic card. It takes a lot of investment, like 4 different monsters. That's kind of a lot to ask, unless you have the next card, which is Phantom Skyblaster.
Right. I think what makes it so good is because we have so many 1-card ways to make it now, and that's a scary thought. Another thing that you can also think about is the fact that when you're looping those Saryujas, you're using that to sculpt your hand. Because, 4 monsters is a big investment and stuff like that, but since the decks now are so crazy of what they could pump out, it doesn't really matter, because, you're investing 4 monsters, but you're still ending on, a plus 11 for no reason.
And then with checking Saryuja to 1, it kind of checks the Guard Dragon engine, which I have no problem with the Guard Dragon engine, but being able to recur red med twice, make 2 Saryuja on top of any dragon from the extra deck, that's kind of a lot to off of fucking 1 card, basically.
Yeah, it's insane. That's another card we could talk about that can go too long. Is we might follow suit with OCG, and we might see Red Med go too.
Yeah, I've been saying that since you were playing Crusadia Guard Dragon, because that card in Link format, it's almost unfair.
It's broken. You just bring it out and bring out any other monster. Plus, there's no restriction on it either. So you're just bringing back, you can bring back, Boral Swords and Boraloads. You can bring back Agripanes and stuff like that and start summoning more dragons out of your extra deck. It's unreal.
Yeah, so Red Med might get a target on his back. Maybe not. Who knows? But I think Skyblaster either needs to go to 1 just to make it a Saki card or get banned. I would really like to see it get banned, but it's because I hate the card.
Yeah, I mean, it's just some older cards, man. People weren't paying it. R&D people weren't paying attention when they made Link monsters and not realizing how degenerate Yu-Gi-Oh players are. Find something that's busted, they'll use it.
Danger plus Skyblaster.
That's full combo. Full combo.
Alright, so those are our generic hits, and the last one we didn't talk about is Thunder Dragon, which a lot of the hits we already said, like Summon Sork, Saryuja, some builds, even Dark Matter, those are hits to Thunder Dragon.
The most recent ones we saw at the YCS for sure.
Yeah. And then we were talking about, there's no good way to hit the actual Thunder Dragon engine without touching the fusions, which Colossus to 1 or 2 would be pretty impactful.
Even at this point, a lot of the decks are just cutting Colossus down to 2 anyway, so you'd almost have to put it to 1. Yeah. If you want to actually do anything, because the main deck monsters from a lot of people are talking about their deck profiles and stuff like that, they don't matter. Yeah. Some people are playing 1 Roar because they don't want to draw. They just want to send it off solar. They're only playing 2 Dark. The general consensus is people are only playing 2 Hawk anyway because that's the only one you really use. And then some people are playing regular Thunder Dragon. Some people aren't playing regular Thunder Dragon. And Duo is just a generic one of you play anyway because it's searchable.
I like regular Thunder Dragon's interaction with Sekka's Light, Saryuja, and all these other cards that like the Dangers, just having the extra discard. To lower the percentage of the Dangers getting hit.
One of the cool things I saw is a lot of people forget about it is because if you have any level 3 on the field, or not even level 3, just any of the level 4s like Soul or anything like that, some of the Thunder decks this week, when they make Dark Matter, when they send Arcbrave and they send Goliath, they'll send cards like Destrudo, because now you can play it as an effective 1-of, because it's now tutorable essentially, right?
Yeah.
They'll target any level 4 on the field to make it a level 3 tuner, and then the Thunder Dragon the OG one that they summon off Saryuja, they'll use that and Destrudo and just make a Boraload Savage. So now you have this big ass board plus a Savage. You still have your 2 Formula Gates. You have a Domain of the Monarchs on leg, and your opponent can't search.
Yeah, it's just Thunder Dragon Colossus is the bane of my existence for every deck I play, so I just hate it.
Well, you're the one who likes to play blue deck, and you like to play striker, so
Yep.
There's that. But hey,
All right, but
your decks have won YCSs.
Yeah, I'm trying to be unbiased, but just looking at the game, outside looking in, I think those cards all need to be addressed in some way. But we're at like 45 minutes now, so you got any closing remarks?
I mean, other than we touch base on, just when we get Dark Neostorm, I think the meta's going to change completely, especially with the upcoming ban list. So look out for BA. That's a big one. Look out for Orcas. They're going to get infinitely better and stuff like that. But
why do you say look out for BA?
Have you read Cherubini?
Oh, right. That's coming out in Dual Power, isn't it?
No, Cherubini's coming out in Dark Neostorm.
Oh, shit.
Oh, yeah. That's a real thing.
All right, guys. Well, this has been the second episode of X2 Drop. I hope you enjoyed. Check us out every Monday on iTunes, Google Play, and YouTube. Peace out.
Peace.